first 4A champions, and I'm going to let this gentleman introduce himself at this time.
Hey guys, I'm Phil Phillips, head coach, Oneonta.
Coach, last time I seen you was at the Super 7, and you guys had a tremendous season last year. I used that season you had last year, and I still talk about it to other teams, players, and coaches about you guys battling through adversity, you know what I mean? Yeah. And y'all seem to do a lot of that, and it ended in the Super 7. It didn't go the way you wanted to, but there was a lot of good you had to take out of last year. So before we dive into this upcoming season, take us back last year and how special that season was.
Well, anytime you end in the finals, obviously you've had a great season. And we had a bunch. We knew when this bunch was freshmen. My first year, this senior bunch last year was freshmen. We started 5 of those in a semifinal game at Deschler. So, you kind of know that, hey, you got a chance to have, this thing stays together. You got a chance to be pretty good. And then, you talked about adversity. We had injuries early. We had them often. We were trying to find our identity up front. We had a quarterback who had missed an entire year because of severe foot injury. He was coming back. So it was a lot of things to do. And to be honest, one of the keys to our success was as we were figuring all that out, we played 5 or 6 games, and we were just fortunate enough to only lose once. We found a way to win some games, and and then about mid-season, we found what we wanted up front. Our quarterback settled in. He was doing a great job. We had a couple of new guys out wide on offense who were now settled in. They'd learned the system. They'd learned what we were expecting. Defensively, it kind of held us together. We're pretty solid on defense every year. Coach White does a great job every year. And our kids, on defense kept us in games and allowed us to figure out who we were offensively. And then, you kind of get hot and you get on a roll. And, but we were down here we were down 19-10 in the area championship game to Good Hope going the fourth quarter. And our kids found a way, to score 3 or 4 times in the fourth quarter, which is, and if you, again, any coach will tell you, if you're doing things right, if you're physically fit and strong and in shape, and as the season goes along, you can wear people down towards the end. We play too many people both ways, so it's tough for us to wear on people. But we were able to do that some, and then you get in playoffs and have a big win in the second round here against Gordo. And then, going to Brooks and Matt Academy and winning was just, it's really, it was a culmination of those kids' journey after 4 years. I mean, to do that, Luke Koch told me after we beat Madison Academy, he just hugged me and said, Coach, you may not even remember, but you told me after Deschler beat us as a freshman that this was going to happen. He said, you told me this was going to happen. And he was right. I didn't remember it, but I don't think he was lying to me. But it was kind of a surreal moment to see how far they'd come. And again, it didn't go our way in the end. But I tell you, our kids, we'd played 4 weeks we play a lot of kids both ways. We played 4 weeks of cold weather, and all of a sudden it's humid and in the mid to upper 70s when you get to Birmingham, and we're playing kids both ways. And that talented bunch we were playing, they didn't play very many both ways. And midway through the third quarter, you looked up and we're still in it, and then eventually they just wore us down. I mean, physically they were just so good, and to be honest, we scheme wise they were really good. The things they did to attack us defensively is things that we sit around here every Sunday and Monday and worry about that we don't see a whole lot of, and they were able to do it. But they had great players, and they're well coached, but it was a great season, and but our kids and coaches, they just do a great job.
Coach, this ain't your first trip to the rodeo, so to speak. So now you battle something new, which is what I like to call the everybody patting you on your back syndrome. So now your kids that have made it all the way to state, I know they lost and they got to be hungry over that. But sometimes, complacency can sit in because you think you're arrived. How do you battle that this offseason?
Well, I think you have to, from the very beginning, as a coaching staff, make sure that they understand it's a new chapter. Some of you guys experienced it. And, I think you can either address it or not address it. I chose to address it. And I told them, guys, I said, it's May. No one's going to remember last December when we're in the middle of the third or fourth quarter in one of these first couple of region games. And they're going to say, well, those jokers played in the finals last year. They're going to find out. It's going to be up to us. And I also let them know that this is a new team. This is your team. Some of you people have your role is changing this year. Now I'm a guy who that young kid's relying on to show me the way and show me how it's done. So, I think you just have to make sure that, and the way we do that is we really just do the same. I mean, we try to do the same thing. We've had, I guess we were 7-3, 8-3 one year, lost in the second round, which we thought we were a better team than that. So you come back with vengeance in the offseason. I think you do the same thing this way, and we'll have a chance years down the road to celebrate this team. And but this fall ain't the time to do it.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Now, Coach, very important offseason right here. I mean, summertime to me is where you make your strides. That's where you make and break people. That's where you weed out people that don't want to be here and bad attitudes and things. How's it looking so far for your bunch?
Well, the summer has been great. Attendance-wise, we have had very, very few people miss, which is huge. Now, we got a lot going on. We got dual sport athletes. We focus on when it comes to play dates, basketball, those winter sports, spring sports take a little priority in June. We know once July gets here, it's football season, but our coaches do a great job of working together and making sure all that happens. But, I tell our kids, and I really believe this, that by the end of the school year, so at the culmination of your off season, I think half the teams in the state are eliminated from competition. I do. I think half because of what kind of off season they had.
I agree.
And then by the end of the summer, I think half of that half. So I think when August gets here, there's really about 15 or 16 teams that have done what they need to do in the off season in the summer to have a chance. Are we going to be one of those? Well, I felt like at the end of the off season we were. We had a really good off season. On the field wise this summer, we've struggled with information and execution, but mainly because we, for the first time ever, didn't do a spring training. We didn't for several reasons. We're going to take the extra week, but our baseball team always does well. We never have those guys. We always miss the track guys a week. I got coaches spread out, so we thought, well, we'll do it. Well, we won't do it again because we don't know enough about our team right now. And our new kids and our older kids that are in new position, we don't know enough about them. So, and I keep telling them every day, are we winning the summer? Are we winning this summer? Because, if we're not going to be in one of those 15 or 16. But the effort's there. It's information overload right now. And I think it's because I didn't do a spring and that's my fault. I probably shouldn't. And we'll just do it. We won't do it again.
You guys got to adjust as a staff to that. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a lot of teams, it's kind of forcing your hand in some cases, like you said, and now they're even moving baseball back another week, I believe. So it's going to be even harder this next year. Now, Coach, what are some of the things you can hang your hat on coming in with this team right here, and what are some of the things you got to look to really improve on?
Well, we have, people know in the last 4 or 5 years, we're going to play in Oneonta, they're going to run the ball. They want to run the ball. We and I'm not of the old school philosophy of you got to run. You come down here 10 years ago, and I tell our guys all the time, I had a principal who's retired now. He's an old school football coach, and he used to, on every Monday, he used to chew me out for throwing it so much on Friday night. Well, it's whatever you're good at. Whatever we play people both ways. We want to slow the game down. I'd love to go fast, but we want to slow the game down because we've got 7 big guys playing for 4 quarters. But we're gonna run. We're gonna run in the box. We're going to do it in several different ways. We're going to do it out of a bunch of formations. What we need to get better at is vertical down the field. We can hurt you here. We have been able to over the years. We've got to be able to hurt you there. If you can manipulate the box, put people in space and give them the ball and touch them vertically. I know if we face that, we're going to struggle against that. So that's what we've got to improve on. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to do it a bunch of ways, but we've got to figure out how to stretch the field that way.
You got to guard every blade of grass in that situation.
Yeah, every blade.
What are some of the things that you really got to address? You got to get tightened up. You really looking into this off season.
Well, we've got to. We're playing. If we had to play tomorrow, I really think we're playing 15 people, and that's tough. We need to be able to play 20 people, and I do think those 20 people are here. We just, and if we'd have spring, we may think it's 17 now, but I do know by the time we get to our first region game, we need to be able to play 20 people to be able to play the way we want to, and to be able to to extend the game the way we want to. So that's the main thing. We're looking for depth. I really feel good about our guys we've got coming back. We have some guys that's played meaningful snaps. They got a lot of experience. We're going to move a couple of people around. We've just got to find 4 or 5 people that will be in the mix.
That's right. Now, Coach, I know we got to get back out to practice. Your skill guys are coming back out on the field now. Final thoughts on this upcoming season?
Well, I'm excited. You know, I love practice. You know, I remember when I was young in this business, I couldn't wait for Friday night. You know, I love practice. I love what we're fixing to do today. I'm fixing to go out there and I'm fixing to yell and scream for an hour and correct, you know, and correct people here and emphasize this and get on this. And then I'm going to limp my butt back in here at 10:30 and sit in here and decompress for about 30 minutes because I can't walk. And I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. You know, I hate Thursdays because we go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I hate going from Thursday to Tuesday without seeing our kids, but I do that for a couple of reasons. It gives you a 4-day weekend every weekend. I really do it for my staff, so my staff can do some things that they normally couldn't do. But I'm ready to go. You know, I had one this morning down at the service station. Coach, when you retire?
Not now.
I don't know. I mean, you know, you watch me walk around, you think that joker's going to be in a wheelchair tomorrow, but I'm not going to be. So,
what keeps you moving?
Yeah, it is.
Ain't no doubt about it. Coach, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And you guys had a tremendous season last year, and I look for the same again this year.
All right. I appreciate y'all being here.